Hello everyone, welcome to the another episode of Spotlighting Young Talent, and today we have another author joining us for this conversation. Now, before I introduce you to the author, let me ask you a few questions. What would you do if you get some special powers? Let's say you have special powers through which you can read people's mind, you can control the weather, or you can see the future. How will you use it? Sounds interesting, right? Yes, I was talking about this power because I'm talking about the book, The Power of Six, which is written by Avika Patel. And we are going to indulge in conversation with Avika and let's know from her about her journey of writing this book. So let's welcome Avika. Hi, Avika. Welcome to the show and congratulations for being a proud author of this fantastic book, The Power of Six.
Thank you. It's so good to be here.
So, Vika, when I saw the cover page of your book and when I read the title, The Power of Six, I got curious to read the book. So, could you just tell us, like, what is it talking about? What is this Power of Six?
So actually, the title "Power of Six" it came from how much unity and strength is required to be powerful. Like there's a saying that says, "One, you're weak. One, you're strong, but together you're even more powerful." So I guess I got the idea from that. And the basic book, it's about six girls who work together, use their powers to defeat a bad guy. Basically, it's like a classic superhero book. I'm proud to say that the book is completely original, and I actually I'm so proud of writing this book. I didn't really get the idea from anywhere, but you can say that everything I write, it's some or the other, came from the part of a movie Avatar. Even though it has nothing in common, I just feel like that movie, it there's a huge influence in me, and it's in everything I write.
So, Avika, how Bookosmia Sprouts program helped you in nurturing your creativity? Could you please share your experience?
I guess I should thank my coach for this because I had too many ideas. I was like this huge pot with so many ideas, and I guess she helped me narrow it down to the ideas that I wanted to focus on the most.
So when you were working on the characters and like you, the friends which are the part of this book, are they real characters or have you got inspiration from somewhere about them?
Okay, so some of them, like I got the inspiration from, and some of them I made up completely by myself. So actually, I know a lot of people who are very interesting in personality, and I put some of their personality into the characters. Like, say, very impulsive and outgoing personality, I put that in one of my characters. And if you have a shy, kind of easygoing personality, I put that into.
It's wonderful. Avika, when we think about writing a book or something, we'll have so many ideas coming up in our mind, and especially the book kind of book you have written, which has so many variety, different things to offer. In that case, how did you bring everything together and how did you frame it to make it a proper book?
That's one of the toughest parts of writing an actual book. You have so many ideas that are spilling out of you, and you're like fiercely trying to gather them all up together, trying to make shape of it. So, what I did, I started with the most simple part of the book, the simplest idea. And then as it went on, it became more complex. So, what I did, I wrote a plot line. So, when you write a story plot, you're basically writing exactly what happens in the book. And for that, you have to think a little. So, when you're writing that, you do the simplest part. And then when you're actually framing it into sentences, that's very easy. The
Okay.
plot is the hard part.
Yeah, because then you have developed the story and the way you have developed it, Avika, it's so fantastic that I read it in one go. I got the book and I was like, oh, I can't stop. Let me see what would happen next. And that way I finished it in one go. Okay. So, Avika, how could you tell us more about your Sprouts journey? Like when you joined the Sprouts program, how did you start and how did it progress further?
Okay, so when I started, me and my coach, we kind of eased up a bit. I told her things about myself, and she told me things about herself. And in that, I kind of felt I let my guard down. I became less tense, and I kind of went into the flow. And It was a very fun experience for me. I love writing a book. I love writing the book. And I just felt like this should go on to so many more kids who have the hidden talent and hidden passion for writing books.
So, Avika, what were the challenging part did you felt or the things which occurred to you while writing the book?
Definitely, writer's block was the thing I had several times during writing the book. It was like my hand and my brain had frozen up. I couldn't write anything. And I kind of envisioned my hands as blocks of ice, and I couldn't move them or anything. I was completely blank of ideas. And it was kind of like, well, when you're so full of ideas that you can't even see the ideas anymore. It's like looking at a very tiny part of a very big picture.
True. So, Avika, when you were in this process of writing, definitely you had ideas and everything. So, like, what are other things that you learned during this journey of writing a book?
I had like tons of helpful tricks and tips along the way from a lot of people. And I didn't notice that sometimes when I'm writing, I overlook some parts. I completely forget about them. And then when I'm proofreading the book, then I realize, oh shoot, I made a mistake. I'm going to have to do this entire thing again. So that happened a lot, and I realized that I should be more careful about what I write down.
So, Abhika, you have mentioned about this book is about the friends and the special powers. So, any particular character of this book which is close to your heart and you feel, oh, this one is my favorite one?
Definitely the main character, Chloe. I based her a bit off myself because I gave her the special powers. Those are the powers I've always wanted to have, mostly as a child. I used to dream about it, that I had those powers. I had this one very enlightening dream in which I had like so many magic powers, and it was honestly an amazing idea. I loved it.
Could you elaborate one of the powers that you have mentioned in the book?
Okay, so there was a power of the character Liz. It was turning anything into anything. Basically, it meant like, for example, if I have a rock, I can turn it into anything I want. Like it's a rock, I can turn it into water. I can turn rock into air. I can turn air into a rock. Kind of like that. I actually got the idea from, well, not exactly the full idea, got inspiration from this movie. It was a Marvel movie. It was called The Eternals. And there was this one woman who had the power, she could turn to do anything substantial. So I kind of got the idea from that, except not the substantial part.
That's fantastic. Avika, as a student, as a child, you write so many assignments and everything. Writing is a part of our academics and all. How did you get the idea that I want to write a book and I want to publish it?
Well, okay, so I should honestly say that the experience started when I was 2 years old. Me and my mom, we were just playing around a bit, and I started writing and I couldn't stop. I wrote about a fat cat and a puddle and a castle. So my mom had this idea of putting my words into a book, which we bound together with tape and ribbons, and I felt like that was amazing. I wanted the world to see what I had written, except, I was only 2 years old. I hadn't written anything meaningful yet. So I never lost track of the idea, and I got my dream come true.
That's fantastic. So, what was your reaction? How do you feel about yourself that you're a published author now?
I feel overjoyed. I mean, this is really great for me. It's been my dream since a lot of years and so much time. And I'm really, really, I can't explain the feeling. It's like joy spilling out of my heart.
That's great. And Avika, like, what was the reaction of your parents when they saw your book?
They were definitely very proud, and they made me sign some copies, and they sent it all over to my relatives saying that my child is officially published author now. Get your signed copies here. And I felt so happy that they appreciated me so much.
There are so many children just like you who would love to publish their book or who want to write their book. What suggestions would you like to give them?
I say go forth and write. I mean, nothing should hold you back from writing. You should never be too scared to write, because writing is what you love, and if other people can't love it, that's their loss. if you love it, you should write it.
That's true. And what are the writing tips you would like to share with them?
Well, definitely sit in somewhere that's very appealing to you. Don't make yourself sit in hard and uncomfortable places just because people say that where you like. And if you want, then I wouldn't say no to munching on a couple of snacks while eating. It gives you wonderful ideas. And definitely sit somewhere cold. For me, coldness is it kind of circulates my thoughts in my brain. So definitely advise that.
So, like, was it any particular time of the day where you used to write, or did you create any environment which would help you in writing a book? Anything like that did you do?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was in the evening around 6 to 7 where I would turn on the AC and I would just munch on some random snack. Usually it was cornflakes or something, some cereal, and I would just make myself so comfortable and cozy. Sometimes I would wrap myself with a blanket just to get that homey vibe, and I would just get the thoughts circulating in my brain at the moment I step into the room.
Yes, definitely that helps us. So, Avika, what is next? Are you planning to write any other book after this, or what are the other plans do you have now?
Yeah, this book is actually it has a cliffhanger at the end, if you guys have read it. It ends with like a new world, somewhere they've never seen before. And I definitely want to make this kind of like a trilogy where people this is gonna be the starting book and I want two more books coming up.
That's lovely. Wish you all the best, Avika, and we really look forward to reading more books that you are going to write in future. Also, keep it up with the same pace. You are doing a fantastic job, and we would love to read more and more from you.
Thank you.
Hi, Ujjwala, and congratulations to you also for being a proud parent of this published author. And Avika has written a fantastic book, The Power of Six. As a parent, how do you feel about it?
Thank you so much. I actually feel very proud, and it gives me immense, satisfaction to see her blossoming like this. She is very young; she's just 12, and she's showing great potential to put her ideas into words. So I think she has a, a big path in front of her and a whole life in front of her. So if this kind of carries on with her, it would be great.
No, it's always wonderful to see parents like you who are there for the children, who are supporting them, who are encouraging them. So, Ujjwala, when Avika was writing this book, how did you contribute in that? How did, as a parent, how did you provide that support to her?
So I think as all kids, she also had moments and periods of time in which she would just not feel like writing. She was like, I cannot write, I cannot think of anything. So I gave her that space. I, to ask her to take a break and, give it some time, let the ideas come and not force her to write at when she's not willing to write. So I think giving that space was important to her, and I think that kind of helped her to, space out things and do things at her own pace.
And that's what we can do as a parent, and that's a wonderful thing that you have done. Ujjwala, at Bookosmia, we are feeling really proud that we could be that platform for Avika to come up with this great book. So, how did you come to know about Bookosmia, and how would you like to share about your experience with Bookosmia?
Sure. So I think it was 1 or 2 years back that I came across, I think, some article which was published there. So I approached Archana, and she published two of Avika's poems before I enrolled her for the Spouts program. And I think it was an excellent, I think that was the first time Avika's poems were published. So she felt very encouraged to see her, her work from a third person's view, reading something which is there out there. So then I felt that she would benefit immensely from the program, so I enrolled her for that program.
That's fantastic. And Ujjwala, what message would you like to give to the parents who who are in the similar journey where either their children are writing about something or they are planning to write a book? What message would you like to give them?
I would say that they should just keep encouraging the children. There would be phases in which they would not want to write anything. There would be phases in which they would be overflowing with ideas. So just be with them. whatever space they are in, and let them flourish and just give them the nourishment to go forward.
Yes, undoubtedly, parental support and encouragement help children in developing that confidence. And you have done a fantastic job. Ujjwala, I appreciate you and Avika for sharing this book writing experience with us. Publishing The Power of Six makes Bookosmia proud. Thank you so much and keep up the great work.
Sure. Thank you so much. Wonderful
Thank
talking
you
to you
so
too.
much. Same here, Ujjwala. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.